What's going on everyone and welcome to the channel. My name's Jack, I'm a chef by trade and my whole purpose for this channel is to give you 100% confidence in the kitchen as well as teach you absolutely everything I know. In this one, we're going to be creating literally the most tastiest mashed potato with a delicious brown garlic butter which adds the most amazing nutty flavour. Please sit back, relax and enjoy. Alright guys, let's start this off with 1 kilo or 2.2 pounds of high starch potatoes, with the variety I have here being Yukon Gold, and the first thing we want to do with these is remove the skin using either a peeler or a knife. You can use other varieties of potatoes for this recipe such as russet or any potato considered all-purpose, but the higher the starch content the more fluffy and smooth our mashed potato is going to be. With the potato peel, we can drizzle these in oil and add salt and pepper and bake them in the oven for some tasty potato skin crisps, or you can chuck them into a compost bin. It's completely up to you. Once that's done, we can pop the peeled potatoes into a large heavy base pot or saucepan and make our way over to the sink. We then want to turn the tap onto cold and fill the pot with cold water 1 inch above the potatoes. If you didn't know, when adding potatoes to hot water, the outside of the potato will become mushy and fall apart by the time that the inside is cooked. So the reason that we use cold water is to allow the potatoes and the water to heat up together, which will then cook the potatoes evenly inside and out. Once that's done, we can then remove the pot from the sink and place it onto our stovetop over a high heat. Season the water with 1 tablespoon or 13 grams of sea salt flakes and bring this to a boil. Once boiling, allow it to continue to do so for 22 to 24 minutes or until the potatoes are extremely soft but not falling apart. In the meantime, grab yourself 5 cloves of freshly peeled garlic, and all we need to do with these is run them along a fine microplane or grater to create a paste, which is also known as minced. If you didn't know, garlic contains a chemical compound called allicin, which is released once it's been crushed, sliced, chopped or minced, and that compound is what gives garlic its very strong odour. You may have seen that some recipes call for chopped garlic and others for minced garlic, and the reason being is that with different preparation methods, different amounts of the allicin is released, which will vary the strength of the garlic in certain dishes. Anyway, once that's done, make sure to scrape all of the garlic out of the microplane or grater to avoid any wastage. Now back to the potatoes. These have been boiling away for 22 minutes and are extremely soft but not completely falling apart, which means we can then turn this off the heat, remove the pot from the stovetop, pour the potatoes through a strainer or colander, being very careful of the steam, and then leave the potatoes to drain and slightly dry out for 5 to 10 minutes. Whilst the potatoes are draining, place a small saucepan onto your stovetop and pour in 3/4 of a cup or 175 milliliters of full fat milk, which we can then place onto a low heat and slowly heat up just until it's nice and hot but not simmering or boiling. Next to the milk on the stovetop, we're going to place a large heavy base skillet, to which we're going to place on a high heat and add in 175 grams or 6 ounces of cubed salted butter. We then want to break the butter up just so it's not all on top of each other, and whilst continuously moving this around, allow it to melt. Once the butter's melted, we're then going to bring it to a boil, and once at a boil, continuously mix this around, keeping the butter moving for 1.5 minutes or until the whole surface of the butter is starting to become foamy and bubbly, which is the water content in the butter boiling away. Once that's achieved, turn the heat down to medium and add in the minced garlic or garlic paste and continuously mix this around for 1.5 to 2 minutes, and what we're doing here is crisping up the garlic and creating a browned butter which will become a caramel-like colour and have a delicious nutty flavour. In cooking terms, this is called beurre noisette. Also, what we're looking out for whilst doing this is the colour of the butter on the edges of the pan, which will give you a fair indication of the colour that is being created. This has now been 1 minute of continuous stirring, and you can see that the colour on the edges of the pan is becoming nice and golden. We're then going to continue mixing this around just until the whole surface is the same colour, and you may also see that the garlic is a deep golden brown colour at this stage, which is exactly what we want, and it's a good indicator that we're on the right track. So this has now been 2 minutes and the surface is completely golden. Using a spoon, you can see that the butter and the garlic are also beautifully golden and the garlic is looking nice and crispy. We can then turn this off the heat, remove it from the stovetop and allow it to sit for 5 minutes, and also at this stage we can do the same with the milk and remove it from the stovetop. Now that that's all done, in the same pot we used to boil the potatoes in, we're going to grab a potato ricer if you have one, or you can use a potato masher or handheld blender and add in the potatoes to mash them up. I find that having a potato ricer in the kitchen is one of the most useful tools to have because you can easily mash pretty much anything. Once that's done, place a sieve over the potatoes to catch the garlic and pour in 3/4 of the brown butter or beurre noisette, reserving the other quarter for later on in the recipe. We can then add in the hot milk, which is where I recommend you only pour in a little bit at a time until your desired consistency, as once you've added it, you can't remove it, but for this recipe I've done the testing for you and will say that this amount creates the perfect consistency. Now that the butter and milk are in, what we then want to do is thoroughly mix this together, pushing down with a spatula, a potato masher or a handheld blender, just until this is extremely smooth. If your potatoes are cooked correctly, which they will be, then you will have no problems with this, but if you do notice any lumps for any reason and do want an extremely smooth mash, you can scrape the mash through a sieve, which will then resolve any issues. Anyway, once that's done and your mash is extremely smooth and looking perfect, give it a quick check for seasoning, and I'm personally going to add in 1 teaspoon or 5 grams of sea salt flakes, but always adjust to your taste. Then give this another quick mix to ensure that the seasoning can join in on the friendship. Now for a nice serving idea, place a good amount of the mash onto a plate or in a bowl and spread it out so it has a few rough edges and grooves, which we'll see why in a second. We can then spoon over that delicious brown nutty butter or beurre noisette with those crispy and really flavoursome garlic pieces, which will then be able to sit in those little grooves which we just made before. We can then spoon some around the edges for a nice presentation or if you're trying to impress someone. And finally, we can then dig in. This recipe right here really is one of my favorites. It's so smooth, full of flavor, and those little bits of crispy garlic just add the most amazing texture. This recipe here serves 2 to 4 people and can easily be doubled, tripled, and so on. And to store it, we can place it in an airtight container in the fridge where it will last up to 4 days, or you can place it in the freezer in an airtight container where it will last up to 6 months. I really hope you enjoyed this video and I was able to teach you something. If you did, be sure to smash that like button and consider subscribing to see hundreds of more fantastic recipes. Thanks for watching everyone, stay safe, and enjoy.